Hi, how to recover from a relationship breakdown and move forward in your life. I get asked this a lot, so I've put together this video to show you what I do, because I've been there a few times, and what I do to help my clients, and it's certainly helped them, because it's a painful time. It really is. And every situation is different. And so this will just help you get through it more quickly, easily, and get through the tunnel and see light at the end of the tunnel and get out the other side that much quicker and easier. You can't stop the process. It'll just make it this much easier. Well, it has for me anyway, and has for my clients. Now, there's an acronym that I use. It's called GROWING. Write this down. GROWING. Now, the first one, G, stands for grieve. A lot of us want to avoid the grieving process because, let's face it, it is painful. It's painful when you've given your heart to someone and it's fallen apart. Whether they've cheated on you, whether you've just had enough and left, or there was a breakdown of some sort, whatever the reason for the breakdown in the relationship, it doesn't matter. The same process applies. We still need to go through the grieving process. Now, some people in the grieving process will try to numb the pain. Instead of dealing with the pain, sitting in the pain, feeling the pain, allowing you to get angry, allowing you to get frustrated and yell and scream or cry and be hysterical because it's so painful you're crying. Allow that. Don't stop that. So many of us self-medicate and it's too painful to deal with, so we take to drugs or alcohol or other pills or jump into another relationship. Oh my goodness, don't do that. So many of us jump into another relationship because we think it's going to help deal with the pain. And it does temporarily. It gives you that addiction, that quick fix, like drugs, alcohol, sex, all that. Jump in and go from bed to bed to bed to try and fix the pain and numb the pain. And it does numb it temporarily. But with any grieving process, any loss, whether it be the death in the family, whether it be the breakdown of a relationship, or you've lost your job, whatever the loss is, you must grieve it. So be careful and aware not to try to avoid it and numb yourself with other things, like, for example, jumping into other relationships. So allow yourself to grieve. And every day will be different. You'll be up and down with emotions, and even from minute to minute, hour to hour. 1 minute you'll be really good, and the next minute you'll be a blubbering mess. And that's okay. That is normal. Don't stop that process. I'm telling you the truth here. The more you can sit in that pain and deal with it, the quicker you'll get through the tunnel and out the other side. Just prolonging it and numbing it with other substances just prolongs the pain. So sit in the pain, deal with it, and you'll get over it that much quicker. Believe me. So the next one is R. Reorganize yourself. You may have to get rid of all their stuff in the house. You may need to take down photos, block them on social media if you have to. Take down your wedding photos or your photos of being together. Block them. Also to delete anything you've got of them. Photos, communication. Block them out of your life. Delete them as though they were not there. Because there's nothing worse, because when you have a downtime or a lonely time, the first thing we do is we go straight to that picture where you were both together, and it just makes you feel worse, and you relive the pain again. So reorganize your life and your mind, and that will help you get over it that much quicker in your mind as well. The next thing is O, G-R-O. O stands for others. Make sure you have a good support system around you, friends, family, that can support you in this time of grieving, that can lift you up, that can give you a hug, that can be there for you, because that's what's going to help you get through this so much quicker. So make sure you have others around you. W, G-R-O-W, W. What did you learn? What lessons are you learning from this relationship breakdown? Ask yourself that. What can I learn from this? Rather than saying, I had a client that used to say, oh, why is this happening to me? Or why did this happen? Or why did he do this? Or why did he do that? Or she do this? Or she did that? That's not the right question. The question to ask the universe is, what can I learn from this? The reason you ask that is maybe you've identified that there's some patterns in you that you've done in previous relationships. And helping identify that pattern helps you to heal that wound, that trauma, so that you don't take it into your next relationship. And we all have patterns in relationships. And what you'll find, both in your ex-partner and in you, we all have patterns. Unless we heal that wound, then we take that into the next relationship, and the next, and the next, and the next. So ask yourself, what did you learn? What patterns that you need to change? What went right in the relationship? Because it wasn't always bad, otherwise you wouldn't have been with them. What went wrong? And ask yourself, what can I change? What do I want in my next partner? What do I don't want in my next partner? Asking yourself these types of questions will help you to heal and help you to move forward and hopefully find another partner, or the right partner next time. Because every relationship has something to teach us about ourselves. So rather than looking at your ex, look at yourself and what changes you can make. I, G-R-O-W-I. I is internal healing. This is where it's critical that you really indulge yourself and give yourself self-care. And that self-care, it doesn't matter what it looks like, it's different for everyone. What makes you feel nurtured and loved and confident and safe and happy and positive? Could be a bubble bath. It could be connecting with your friends and having a coffee. It could be going for a run. What internal things that you can do to help heal you? So self-care is critical, all right? Make sure that you look at this in a way that as you're doing your internal healing, that you have no guilt and no shame, because that just eats us away inside. Make sure that throughout this breakup that you are honest, you have integrity, so that your conscience is clear. Your partners, ex-partners may not be, but yours is clear, because I believe in karma. And what we give out, we get back. What we reap, what we sow. Be honest with yourself and be honest with others. It's really important that you stay that way, so that you have no guilt, no shame about what happened in the relationship or why it broke down. That is critical to you healing your inner wounds and moving forward. Okay? N, G-R-O-W-I-N. N is an exercise I do. I call it the positive and negative process or theory. And it's called also the law of polarity, which means it's like this. When there's an up, there's always a down. When there's an in, there's an out. When there's a black, there's a white. So there's always the other side to things. So I think of it, I call it the battery test. If you look at a battery, there's always a positive side and a negative side. So what we do in the process of us grieving in the relationship breakdown, we have our blinkers on and we're always looking at the negatives. This went wrong, that went wrong, they said this, they did that, I could have done that differently, I should have done this, I shouldn't have done that. So we look at all the negatives because we've got our blinkers on. But if you think of the negative and positives, always take the blinkers off and look at, okay, what's the positive from this? And let me give you an example. It could be that you had a fight and your partner left. Didn't say why, didn't say what was going on, they just left. They didn't give you an explanation and they just said, I'm done. Okay, so that was a negative because in the respect that you might be thinking, well, I didn't get any answers. I didn't get any answers from my ex-partner. What went wrong? Why it went wrong? And I didn't get an opportunity to fix it or heal it. But think of it this way. So the positives, what would be the positives of that? Okay, and it could be something as simple as, well, because he just left and didn't say anything, I didn't get into an argument with him. It could be a positive that I didn't hear any more lies from coming out of his mouth. Or it could be a positive that you didn't cry then and there, because when we get emotional, emotions are high, logic is low. We can say and do things that we may later regret. So the fact the way it was, there was closure, or he left or she left, can be a positive. So sit down, and this takes a bit of work to do. Sit down and think about what's the positives. When you're thinking negatives, what's the positives from that? And it's always there. Law of polarity, it must be there. And sometimes some of the positives you might not see until years later. Maybe the universe can see the bigger picture and can see something that you can't see, and years later something you'll find out something, you'll go, oh my God, I'm so glad that he left or she left or we broke up for whatever reason. So there's always a positives. Don't say to me, oh, there's no positives, because they're there. You just have blinkers on. And if you need any more help with this, contact me, because this does take a bit of work to do. I can help you take the blinkers off and start to see more openly and see the bigger picture. It really is a big exercise I get all my clients to do, with not just breakups, but in lots of different, you have a fight at work. So there's a really good reason to use this concept or this theory with a lot of things. And the last one is G, G-R-O-W-I-N-G. And G means that when you're growing, I pinched this from somewhere else I heard, and I just can't think of the person I heard it from at the moment. But when you're growing and you're healing, you're actually glowing. Because by growing and doing this process and coming out the other side, you feel more self-confident, you feel better, wiser, stronger, you have better self-esteem, you have better self-worth. And so a lot of the mistakes that you made in that relationship, hopefully you won't make in the next one, because you are wiser, stronger, and you know the mistakes that you've made going into the next relationship. So the key here is to remember that give yourself time. But by doing this growing process, this growing acronym, will just help you, I promise you, will help you get through it a lot quicker. So if you like what you hear, and if you have any questions, or if you need some more help in any of that, because it's hard to do on your own when you're in the middle of the grieving process and you're very emotional, contact me. And please share this with anyone you know that's going through a breakup. It will just help them. Please subscribe, comment below, subscribe, share, and I'd love your comments on what you have done to help you get through a relationship breakup, or if you've used this process and what results you got. I'm Lynn Croker, Superwoman versus Real Woman. Take care and good luck.